Not every character gets the end they deserve. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 disappointing deaths of great characters.
Meet up? You actually want me dead?
For this list, we're looking at even more big screen deaths of beloved, well-crafted, or just plain badass characters. To be included, the demise met by these characters needs to have left us wanting more, or have been too simple and easy for such memorable characters. To be clear, this isn't a commentary on the quality of the films in question, as many of them are indeed excellent. It goes without saying, but this video will be nothing but spoilers.
Call John.
Number 10. Chad Feldheimer. Burn after reading.
I'm sorry I'm calling at such an hour, but I thought you might be worried.
Worried?
About the security of your
Brad Pitt doesn't really play many supporting roles, and his characters sure as hell don't get unceremoniously killed off relatively early in the film. But hey, this was a departure for Pitt in more ways than one.
Now, give me the f***ing floppy or the CD or whatever the f*** it is,
as soon
and
as
I'll
you
be
give
on
us
my
the
way.
money, dickwad!
You see, Brad plays a character named Chad in this Coen Brothers film, and in a deviation from his typically smooth, stoic, or occasionally manic characters, Chad is bubbly, superficial, and kinda simple-minded.
And then there's these other files that are just like numbers arrayed. Numbers and dates and numbers and numbers and dates and numbers and... I think that's the man.
Pitt knocks it out of the park, delivering a show-stealing performance. Then, with no warning, the dangers of getting involved in a blackmail scheme become all too real with a single bullet to the head. Chad, you left us too soon. Number 9. Dr. King Schultz. Django Unchained. When this Austrian actor landed a role in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds, he blew people away, quickly becoming one of the most desirable character actors in the industry.
Au revoir, Shoshana!
Collaborating again with Tarantino for Django Unchained, Waltz delivered another magnetic performance, this time as Dr. King Schultz, a dentist turned bounty hunter.
My name is Dr. King Schultz. Like yourself, Marshal, I'm a servant of the court. The man lying dead in the dirt, who the good people of Daughtry saw fit to elect as their sheriff, who went by the name of Bill Sharp, is actually a wanted outlaw by the name of Willard Peck, with a price on his head of $200.
After taking the life of Leonardo DiCaprio's despicable villain Calvin J. Candy with one quick sleeve trick, Schultz seemingly gives up and accepts his fate.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
For a master marksman and impressive gunslinger such as himself, Schultz deserved to take a few more with him.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Number 8. Luke Glanton, The Place Beyond the Pines.
Anything you want to tell me? Anything you think I might want to know before I leave here? Forever and I never come back.
For cinemagoers who didn't do their homework before going to see this crime drama, this death must have come as not only a shock, but a big disappointment. When you see Ryan Gosling front and center on a movie poster, you expect to get your money's worth of the heartthrob.
Bullshit. What kind of house are you running? No ice cream?
But this movie is divided into two parts, separated by a 15-year gap. And sadly, Gosling's charming but self-destructive bad boy doesn't survive the first half of the film.
Look, don't tell him about me, okay?
We understand the narrative necessity, but if you were gonna kill Luke with a disappointing gut shot and short drop, maybe don't make him arguably the most compelling character in the film.
Please.
Number 7. Black Widow, Avengers Endgame. With Natasha Romanoff appearing in the MCU since 2010, many believed she was an untouchable Avenger that would live to see the end of Phase 3.
Huh. You're fired.
That's not up to you.
especially considering Scarlett Johansson portrayed her. We never thought things would end like this. After turning Clint Barton from his newly found vigilante ways, Romanoff takes him to Vormir to retrieve the Soul Stone. Red Skull tells them they must sacrifice a loved one, so the two Avengers struggle to convince each other that they should be the one to die.
That's really gross.
They end up both throwing themselves off a cliff, but Black Widow's grappling hook saves Hawkeye, while leaving her dangling.
This is gonna work, Steve.
I know it is. Because I don't know what I'm gonna do if it doesn't.
She persuades him to let go, after which Barton goes back to the present. Speechless doesn't even begin to cover how we feel.
All we can do is our best. And sometimes the best that we can do is to start over.
Number 6. Qui-Gon Jinn. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. For those who longed to see the stoic, powerful Jedi Masters of the extended Star Wars canon brought to life on the big screen, Qui-Gon Jinn was pure wish fulfillment.
Whenever you gamble, my friend, eventually you lose. Bring the parts to the main hangar. I'll come by your shop later on so you can release the boy.
Though The Phantom Menace was the subject of much criticism, few could fault Liam Neeson's performance as this complex, hopeful Jedi.
When you learn to quiet your mind, you'll hear them speaking to you.
I don't understand.
With time and training, Annie, you will.
The battle with Darth Maul is arguably the highlight of the film, a thrilling lightsaber duel worthy of the epic franchise. Then, Qui-Gon receives an unexpected hit to the face from the handle of Darth Maul's weapon, followed by a quick lethal thrust to the torso. It was a shock to Obi-Wan and cinemagoers alike. We'd just grown attached to this Jedi Master. Number 5. Jazz, Transformers. Unless you're a big fan of Michael Bay's Transformers franchise, chances are that all of the various Autobot and Decepticon just kind of blur together. But Jazz was different. Even in these hectic films, he stood out with his big heart and personality. Transformers buffs who have been with the franchise long before Bay got a hold of it can tell you that Jazz is an important member of the team, Optimus's right-hand man, and a long-standing fan favorite.
What's cracking, little bitches? My first lieutenant. Designation Jazz. This looks like a cool place to kick it.
So how did the films treat Dear Jazz? By having Megatron unceremoniously rip him in half in a blink and you'll miss it moment, seemingly designed to break the hearts of our childhood selves.
Come here, little cretin. You want a piece of me? You want a piece? No! I want two!
Number 4. Trinity, The Matrix Revolutions.
Trinity?
As played by Carrie-Anne Moss, Trinity is one of the most badass and empowering female characters in action or sci-fi films.
Do you see what's out there?
Yes,
If you tell me we'll make it, I'll believe you.
we'll make it. We have to.
After kicking ass and taking names for much of the trilogy, Trinity is then done in not by an insurmountable number of agents, nor a self-sacrifice in the name of Zion. No, she dies in a crash and gets fatally impaled by some power cables.
I can't go with you, Neo. I've gone as far as I can.
What? Oh no. Oh no, no, no.
To be clear, the last moment shared between her and Neo was indeed heartbreaking.
You have to finish it. You have to save Zion.
I can't. Not without you.
Yes, you can. You will. I believe it. I always have.
Given how high the stakes were in this final installment, we're not sure there was any way to have her survive. We just wish she could have gone out in a blaze of glory. Number 3. Dr. Susan McAlister, Deep Blue Sea. Given its genre and premise, this sci-fi horror film was always going to get bloody, but we still wish that blood hadn't been shed quite this foolishly.
She may be the smartest animal in the world, but she's still just an animal. Come to Mama.
In a desperate attempt to stop a highly intelligent killer shark from escaping, Dr. McAlister cuts her own hand and jumps in the water to serve as live bait. Some have argued that this was a willing self-sacrifice, but considering her desperate and failed attempt to then get back out of the water, we're gonna call this a bad plan that ended, well, the only way it could. After showing herself to be a brilliant and capable character, McAlister sadly met a facepalm-worthy end. Number 2. William Billy Costigan Jr., The Departed.
I mean, he murdered somebody, right? The guy murders somebody, and you don't take him. What are you waiting for, honestly? I mean, do you want him to chop me up and feed me to the poor? Is that what you guys want?
Rough list for Leo. In this tense crime drama, multiple games of cat and mouse are being played, with both DiCaprio's Billy Costigan and Matt Damon's Colin Sullivan infiltrating the mob and the state police respectively.
I gotta find myself.
You're telling me, sonny boy.
I gotta find the guy you got in the department.
Given the dangerous situations both men put themselves in, a gunplay-heavy ending was somewhat inevitable, but that didn't make it any easier to see Costigan bite the bullet, right when it seemed like he'd finally come out on top. Excellently played by DiCaprio, Costigan was a carefully crafted and nuanced character, one we were sad to see go.
Just kill me. I am killing you.
Of course, that could be said about any number of characters in this film who met similar fates. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few dishonorable mentions.
I'm not giving up on you, Jean.
She was my friend.
You're my family, Jean. Stop, no matter what.
Stop.
Not quite at the end yet. Almost there, though. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. All right, back to business.
Number 1. Sarah Connor, Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines.
You're terminated.
This character, originally played by Linda Hamilton, is one of the strongest, most badass female protagonists in the history of cinema.
Broke my arm.
There are 215 bones in the human body. That's one. Now don't move.
Over the course of the Terminator and Terminator 2 Judgment Day, we saw her go from a relatively timid character to a fearsome one, a mother willing to do anything to protect her son. Unfortunately, when the much-maligned Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines happened in 2003, we're told that she's died of cancer.
Sarah Connor was cremated in Mexico. Her friends scattered her ashes in the sea.
Though it was a minor comfort to know that she lived to see the predetermined date of Judgment Day come and go without incident, an off-screen death due to disease was far less than this iconic character deserved.
What happened to her?
Leukemia.
I'm sorry.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.